What if the most dangerous thing in your life is not a monster, not a weapon, but a relationship? Toxic in 2026 is a dark, intense psychological drama that explores obsession, control, and emotional manipulation in a way that feels disturbingly real. This is not your typical thriller. It's slow, unsettling, and deeply psychological. So let's talk about what Toxic gets right, where it divides audiences, and whether it's actually worth your time. Toxic follows the story of a central character who slowly finds themselves trapped in a relationship that appears normal on the surface, but underneath, it's deeply damaging. The movie doesn't rely on jump scares or loud drama. Instead, it builds tension through small moments, silence, and emotional pressure. What makes the story powerful is how realistic it feels. There are no exaggerated villains here, just flawed people, blurred boundaries, and decisions that slowly spiral out of control. The film asks an uncomfortable question: how do you escape something that feels familiar, even when it's hurting you? One of the strongest aspects of Toxic is its acting. The lead performance is subtle but extremely effective. You can feel the confusion, fear, and emotional exhaustion without the character ever saying it directly. The supporting cast also deserves credit, especially the character who represents the toxic influence. Instead of being loud or aggressive, the performance is calm, charming, and manipulative, which makes it even more terrifying. This is the kind of acting that stays with you after the movie ends. The direction and screenplay of Toxic is very controlled and intentional. The director uses long takes, close-up shots, and quiet scenes to create discomfort. Nothing feels rushed, and that's both a strength and a weakness. The screenplay is smart, but it demands patience. There are moments where the film feels slow, but those moments are necessary to understand the emotional weight of the story. This is not a movie that explains everything. It trusts the audience to read between the lines. Visually, Toxic is dark, moody, and intimate. The color palette is muted, lots of shadows, cold lighting, and enclosed spaces that reflect the character's mental state. The background score is minimal but effective. Instead of loud music, the film uses silence and low tones to build tension. Sometimes the absence of music is what makes a scene hit harder. At its core, Toxic is about emotional control, dependency, and self-loss. It shows how toxic relationships don't start as nightmares. They start as comfort. The movie doesn't give easy answers. It doesn't tell you who's right or wrong. It simply shows consequences. And that's what makes it powerful. What if the most dangerous thing in your life is not a monster, not a weapon, but a relationship?